From Grant Hill's super scary ankle fracture to Chris Bosh's brutal blood clotting condition, there are many NBA players whose careers were tragically cut short because of injuries. Here are some of them, starting with the young prodigy Shaun Livingston. When the Los Angeles Clippers picked Livingston as the number 4 overall pick in 2004, he was 18 and full of potential. He went from high school to the NBA and was a powerful 6'7" athletic playmaker. During his first 3 seasons, he showed he could be an all-star. But during his 3rd season, when he was 21 years old, Livingston suffered a very bad knee injury. People thought he might need to get his leg amputated and may never walk again. But after many years of rehab, Livingston not only got his knee back to normal, but also went back to playing basketball. After the accident, Livingston changed his life and became a key reserve player for the Warriors.
6 of 14 from the field. Livingston with a crossover.
Helping them win the last 3 NBA titles. What an inspiration! He not only came back after a dreadful injury, but even led his team to victory. Speaking of dreadful injuries, another player who didn't reach his full potential because of an unfortunate injury is Grant Hill. Before the Detroit Pistons picked him with the 3rd overall pick in the 1994 NBA draft, Hill was a college star at Duke. There was a lot of hope that Hill would become a star in the league, and he did that right away, and then some. In his first 7 seasons, he was named Rookie of the Year and went to 6 All-Star games. The 6'8" small forward played like a pseudo-point forward who could score, grab rebounds, and set up for his teammates. And in his first 6 seasons, Hill scored 21.6 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game. Sadly, after Hill broke his ankle during his 7th NBA season, he was never the same. He still had some good years and played until he was 40, and his performance earned him a spot in the Hall of Fame. Despite all his achievements, many people still think about what could have been. What he went through was terrible, and how he made a comeback speaks volumes about his determination. So I don't think it's fair to think about what he could have done instead of appreciating and celebrating what he has done.
Not careful enough, Grant with a steal and the reverse jam for the crowd.
These lower body injuries can be critical in terms of your career if you're a basketball player. Another example of a player whose injury took a similar route was Brandon Roy. Roy quickly became well known after the Portland Trail Blazers picked him with the 6th overall pick in 2006. He won the Rookie of the Year award and then went on to play in 3 straight All-Star games. Roy was the best all-around shooting guard because he was strong and stood 6 feet 6 inches tall. The player could shoot well and make plays, and he was on his way to becoming one of the best players in the NBA.
He's got a chance to tie the game.
Before a degenerative knee condition took away his ability to play at the top level, Roy quit the NBA after 5 years. In 2012, the Seattle native tried to make a comeback by joining the Minnesota Timberwolves, but Roy only played 5 games with the T-Wolves. After that, he was done with the game of basketball for good. It must have been a tough decision, but good on him for being mature enough for it. This next player was in the limelight for a good amount of time. So you must have heard of Derrick Rose. Being the first pick in the NBA draft always comes with a lot of pressure. But he delivered right away. In his first 4 years with the Chicago Bulls, Rose won Rookie of the Year, was MVP, and played in 3 All-Star games. The Bulls were on track to be a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, but a torn ACL crushed all those dreams.
Oh, Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee. Holding on to his knee and down.
His recovery turned into a big mess that got a lot of attention as he kept getting hurt, which made fans unfairly criticize Rose's efforts and toughness. Since leaving the Bulls, Rose has slowly reestablished himself as a scoring spark plug off the bench. In the last 2 seasons, he has averaged at least 18 points per game as a bench player. Although he's not as exciting as he was in Chicago, Rose has given his career a new start. It wasn't a good move on the fans' part to criticize him like that. Look what he has achieved now. He really did the best he could, which is always respected. This next tall dude didn't have it easy as well. A series of injuries and missed opportunities led to the decline of Greg Oden. In 2007, when Oden was picked before Kevin Durant, he had to deal with a lot of pressure and high expectations. At Ohio State, Oden was a monster, and he looked like a grown man playing against kids. Along with Roy, the Blazers were looking for a center to make their team stronger. Roy had a few good seasons before his health problems got too bad, but Oden's career never even got to start. He didn't play at all his first year because of knee problems, and he only got to play in 82 games over the next 2 seasons because of injuries. Oden didn't play at all for the next 3 seasons, and in 2013-2014, he tried to come back to the NBA with the Miami Heat, but it didn't work out.
They don't get an opportunity to get inside. One thing Odom can do, even though he's not a leaper anymore because of his knees.
That's just so sad to hear. This next one will definitely fascinate some, as many people might not know this. Younger fans know him as an NBA expert whose opinions are sometimes controversial. But Jay Williams was once a college basketball star at Duke and was picked second overall in the 2002 NBA draft. Williams' first season was rough, but he showed a lot of potential and seemed destined for a successful career. But Williams never hit those heights, as he was in a motorcycle accident that hurt his leg so badly that he could never play in another NBA game. That's why you always have to be careful. What a crazy career he could have had. Just so sad.
I just look forward to being there. I mean, just the sounds of it when it's packed and people are yelling and people are cheering. And
you may not know the next player by his pet name Penny, or maybe because of his game. It's Anthony Hardaway that I'm talking about. The Warriors picked Hardaway with the 3rd overall pick in the 1993 NBA draft. However, he is best known for being traded to the Orlando Magic along with several other picks for Chris Webber. Penny became a star almost right away, and he was a playmaking machine. After his rookie year, he made 4 straight All-Star teams and was compared to Magic Johnson until his legs started to get worse, and slowly so did his game. Hardaway played until he was 36, but after his last All-Star game, he only played in more than 70 games twice. For the rest of his career, he kept getting hurt and had a hard time getting better. That's harsh, but he was a champ when he was in his prime. Lastly, the following player was a member of the Big Three in Miami, and he was a beast. You guessed it, I'm talking about Chris Bosh. Bosh gave the Toronto Raptors exactly what they wanted when they picked him 4th in the 2003 NBA draft, which was one of the best ever. He was the best big man for the modern game because he could spread the floor and still be a force inside. Bosh was also a good defender who didn't get enough credit, and he protected the rim while being able to switch to smaller opponents and hold his own. Many people will remember him as the 3rd member of the Big Three in Miami. Behind LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, he was kind of the unsung star, but Bosh has a Hall of Fame resume, and he has been an All-Star 11 times and won 2 championships. Still, we all wonder what else Bosh could have done if he hadn't had a condition that caused his blood to clot and cut his career short. Bosh would have been considered one of the best power players of all time if he had kept playing at such a high level for a few more years, and it seems likely that he should be no matter what. He was one of the most legendary players ever, and it's so sad to see how things turned out for him. Anyway, that's all for the NBA players who were never the same after their injuries.
It's a 3, his 3rd from a step beyond the line. And look at LeBron James mobbing. He turns the corner behind his back. Bosh for the lead. Got it! 5/10 left.